this be possible good news? Could this be good news from the case of the 3 daughters who was brutally murdered by their father, Travis Decker? You're looking at him right now. Now, these images were captured in surveillance moments leading up to these poor girls that were, again, murdered by their father, Travis Decker. Now, take a good look at these girls. These poor girls. Paityn, Olivia, Evelyn. Young girls. Now, they were found deceased at this Rock Island Campground. Now, all this took place in Washington. Now, before, if you don't know the story behind this, I would recommend you go look at my previous podcast. I talked about this in detail. I could sum it up for you. Travis Decker is the father of these 3 girls. Now, he shared custody with his wife, who is, not named, and the wife trusted him. Now, he's a veteran. Travis is a veteran. Travis here decided to take his girls and not return him to the scheduled time to the girl's mother's home. And she got worried. He didn't text her, didn't call her back. It passed that scheduled time when he shared custody with the mother. She called the police, filed a missing report for her 3 daughters, these 3 beautiful little girls. And then June 2nd, they made a shocking discovery. They stumbled upon those 3 girls in a remote area, campground, deceased. Strangulation played a part, and trauma as well, they believe so. Now, this is new information, but today I have new information for you. I mean, they got him on a Ring camera. Yeah, but here's what. Okay, so here's a confusing part. Here's a confusing part. Before I show you this, I'm gonna say this twice. First time, a lot of there's a lot of people sharing very, very incorrect information. These sightings that you see here are leading up to the days. There's a difference. There's a difference here. So let's watch these videos and I'm going to show you, okay? I'm going to show you exactly what's going on. So I got some new details and possible sightings.
And we have breaking news that we want to bring to you now concerning a man wanted for a triple murder involving 3 young girls.
And new updates. Let's get over to Abby Wild. Abby, what do we know so far?
Joe and Brenda, so the McCall Police Department posted about 27 minutes ago that the McCall Police Department has received notifications of the possible sighting of Travis Decker. Again, he is the suspect in the case of the Chelan County, Washington murders where 3 girls were found dead. They are saying that dispatch should only be notified of first-person sightings, not rumors, texts, online chatter, but if you do believe that you saw him around the McCall area, to contact dispatch at 208-382-5160. Again, this is just that there was maybe a sighting of Decker in McCall, Idaho. Again, we do know those murders took place on Monday night, and from there he has been on the loose and on the run with no spotting of where he might be. So we'll continue to bring this breaking news to you as we find out more. Joe and Brenda.
And we know investigators out of Washington had cautioned the public there that if in fact they did see him, he could potentially be a dangerous person. So do not approach this man. If you believe you do see him, a firsthand report, you're asked to contact dispatch. Of course, as always, Brenda, in an emergency, call 911. We will continue to follow this through our evening newscast. We'll be right back with the 208 right here on KTVB.
Now, the possible sighting raised a lot of alarms that he was located around Idaho. Now, I'm going to pull up a map for you of Idaho and Washington. Now, I want to see, could he have made it there in 2 days? Could he? Well, when I looked at the map earlier, it's close and it's right by Washington. Take a look at this. Now, this happened in, I believe, not Tacoma, in Wenatchee. right next door, chat. Look at that. Washington, Idaho. Those are bordering states. So could this sighting possibly be true? It could possibly be. Now, they want hardcore evidence. Authorities, FBI, they want to know for sure that this sighting is credible. This is a very dangerous person, a serious case. They need to know, guys, you need to be sure because they taking tips from everybody. I mean, this is, this is serious. Let's go back to the possible
Details
sighting.
right now. We're just getting word that the McCall Police Department, this is in Idaho, not too far from Boise, they're now saying that they've received notification of a possible sighting of Travis Decker there. Of course, that triple murder suspect from our area that Lauren was just telling you about. They say, be aware. Of course, call 911 if you see this person. But Matthew, the reason why they are notifying us is because since they did have this possible sighting in that area near Boise, in McCall, Idaho, they're needing everyone to keep an eye out for this person, especially in that area.
Well, and one thing that we want to know, last night we had our first chance to really hear from the investigators. Both Wenatchee PD and the Chelan County Sheriff went before cameras and they talked a little bit about this. They noted they don't know if Travis Decker is dead or alive. They also said they have no idea if he's already left this area. So while you just heard that live report from Lauren Donovan on the ground in Wenatchee, in that area where they're moving barricades, they're going up Icicle Gorge Road and trying to check each and every individual spot. And this is a big wilderness area. They've made it clear they don't know if he's already reached outside of our state. So just so you get a better idea where McCall, Idaho is, that's about a 2-hour drive north of Boise. To get there, if you were to just take a beeline, jump on a road and make it there as quickly as possible, if you were to put that in Google Maps, it estimated about a 6.5-hour drive. So this just really expands the manhunt and gives you a good idea of how far Decker could have made it. One other thing that we want to note with this latest information coming from McCall, Idaho police, they're warning people, please don't call 911 or dispatch centers with rumors or texts, because this stuff is going to start circulating online. Everybody's going to want to call in and try to be helpful. They want to hear first-person sightings. And, of course, we'll be tracking this as it looks, at least for now, as they investigate these sightings, that the manhunt will be expanding to Idaho. Good news, at least, is that we know federal agencies are now involved, including the Department of Homeland Security, U.S. Marshals, so hopefully they will have people in those areas working on these tips as well.
Yeah, and before we go, I do want to share this phone number because, as Matthew mentioned, they don't want to hear from you if it's just a rumor or online chatter. They only want you to call this number if there's a first-person sighting of this man, Travis Decker. And that number that they're sharing on social media is 208-382-5160. I'm going to repeat that for you. If you want to jot this down, for 208-382-5160. This information just coming down to us. So if you live in that area or anywhere near McCall, Idaho, keep an eye out. And I want to remind everyone, this person is deemed dangerous. If you see this person, do not confront him. Call 911 or that number that we just shared with you.
No, I'm seeing a lot of different things on YouTube and what people were telling me, and I need people to you got to be careful, okay? And I'm gonna say something. Actually, I'm just gonna show you. You have to be careful. Okay. There are some people spreading a lot of rumors. Be careful with these other people, YouTubers, whoever you watch. Newly released images from security cam footage show Travis Caleb Decker, 32, in the days before he allegedly murdered his 3 daughters. You got that? I hope, I'm seeing some lot of misinformation out there. And I'm not the one for that. I'm not that one. We don't do that here. There's a difference. There is a difference. That's why the title of this podcast says spotted, because there was spottings. Not that this is him right now at this moment. Right? Like that's, this is Decker. This is him right. Stop it. Chill. It's not. That's going to fuck up the investigation. And and mess up this whole thing. I don't want this case to get messed up. I want to find this guy if he is alive. And I want to find him without the incorrect information. Any misinformation will deter this case, will set it off its course. There is a difference. Please be careful who you watch. 3 of you, literally 3 of you, send me a DM right before I started this podcast. 2 minutes. I don't watch other people, bro. I don't watch them. Respectfully, God bless them. Love them. Cool. But you sent me 2 on Facebook, 1 somewhere else I don't want to say. And I'm reading the title that you sent me. I'm like, no, he's not. What? No, that's wrong. No, that's wrong. So it's like, you got to be careful from the pictures to now I'm about to show you the Ring camera. This is let me show you something real quick so you know exactly what I'm talking about. Okay. Now, this is him in the, what county was this? Was it Chelan, guys? Chelan County in Washington? That's how you say it. I forgot the county. And Wenatchee, this is Wednesday, released on Wednesday of him on the Ring camera. The press conference, oh yeah, it is on. It is on.
That he was attracted to, like doing in his free time. So clearly some of the knowledge he's probably acquired throughout his lifetime, in addition to the training through. And we've been working hard. Paityn, Evelyn, and Olivia are clearly a motivating force.
Everybody, I need you to like and share this out right now. Every single body. Hit subscribe if you're new. This is the time. This is a live presser.
A lot of our guys are working with sleep deprivation, but their thoughts are always on the girls and making sure that we're staying motivated and getting the results the family expects out of us. So, as we mentioned before, not much to go off of. We have been following leads thanks to the FBI and their analysis team that has been going out, processing social media leads throughout the nation, not just here locally. Following up those leads, we've been assigning detectives, marshal services, representatives to go out and do interviews. We also appreciate the nation police departments. We had one in McCall, Idaho today, was doing follow-ups for us. So we're not just keeping our focus here within Chelan County, we're also focusing nationwide on other leads that are coming out. Again, thank you to those police departments, sheriff's offices, state agencies across the nation that have stepped up to assist us and giving us the additional resources that we desperately need. Clearly, this is not the outcome we wanted to see. We were hoping that we could find Travis today, but we are feeling optimistic thanks to our marshals department that has come through and tracked down some good leads that we feel are giving us more of an insight into Travis's mindset, where he may have not gone or may have gone to. And we'd also like to thank the FBI and their behavioral analyst unit that has also gone through, done an assessment of some of the interviews that we've had regarding Travis and made a determination on maybe what his thought process was, what decisions he might have made, and where he had gone. In addition to our detectives also following through some of the financial documents, tracking areas that he had previously frequented, and we're optimistic that we will find him shortly. We'd also like to thank Spokane County Sheriff's Office for coming out, Sheriff Knowles, having their helicopter fly from 6 o'clock this morning to 11, as I understand it. At 11 o'clock, our helicopter was also on ground at the fish hatchery in Leavenworth to fly the Icicle Creek. We also deployed our swiftwater rescue team to go through there and start searching the creek in cases that Travis did enter in there. The water is running pretty quickly now thanks to the spring runoff, but we're optimistic that with our air units up in the sky, looking over the terrain, it's definitely diverse when you're talking about the amount of acreage that we're covering. That we're doing the best we can. We also want to thank Sheriff Myers down in Kittitas County for deploying some of his search and rescue units, checking trailheads on the backside of Chelan County to see if there's any opportunity that Travis might have made it out to that location. We have learned so far through our investigation today that he is well versed in outdoor survival. And talking with his father, it sounds at times that he would go out and would be leaving off grid for sometimes up to 2.5 months. So we also understand too that he at times would do caching. So we understand that that's a possibility, that he could have scoped out this area before, put supplies out there, and has the ability and the knowledge to survive for a long period of time. We saw this before a couple years ago when we assisted Kittitas County with a similar case. So we are putting our resources out. We saw our SWAT team today out off the icicle drainage, checking residences through there, in addition to us still having units out on the ground, continuing to check, in addition to expanding out and looking at local counties. So we're going to continue to do what we need to do, partnering with our federal partners. We will again want to say thank you to the FBI, Homeland Security, that has assisted us more yesterday. Also going with the Marshal Services, the Washington State Patrol that has been working alongside of us, along with their detective units. And we've also had a forensics electronic detective going through the cell phone and other electronic items that we've collected on the scene. So we're hoping to gather more information, take that intel that we've gathered today, and continue to press on tomorrow. But at this time, we have not found Travis. My message is still the same. Travis, if you're out there seeing us, we'd like you to turn yourself in. We want a peaceful resolution to this, but we're not going to relinquish our efforts and giving up any effort that we can proceed to track you down. So please turn yourself in. Let's wrap this up and do what's right for your kids. So any questions?
Sir, are you any closer to establishing a motive?
No, and I don't think there'd be any motive that'd be acceptable. I mean, clearly, it's not the decision of a sound mind, and these young girls were a victim.
Was a body discovered in this area you were searching near Leavenworth today?
They were discovered earlier this week. It was outside Leavenworth. You're more up icicle drainage around milepost 18, around Rock Island Campground. And we do have a map that I think we've already shared online, but it is more of a rural campground.
Was there maybe it's unrelated to the case?
Okay. No, there was another individual that was located today, not related to the case, and that was out towards the Big Y where US 2 and 97 connect, but not related to the case.
Sheriff, you mentioned McCall, Idaho. There were reports of possible sightings, or maybe it was just the fact that the department received tips. Any credibility to some of that? I know you mentioned they did some investigating. What have you learned from that?
I can tell you so far today we had a possible sighting on East Leavenworth Road. We checked that out. It was not Mr. Decker. We had another one out at milepost 83, US 2. And then, of course, we continued to hear information about other possible sightings from across the nation. As we understood, based off the information we got back, was that the sighting in McCall, Idaho was not our suspect, but we'll continue to work with our neighboring agencies, not only here in the state, but across the nation, to help us track down any leads we do get.
What kind of head start do you think he had, knowing the truck was found Monday? When do you think he started to go out and leave his
Worst case scenario, we could see that he might have gotten a head start on Friday, so he would have had the whole weekend to be out there. But we're still tracking it down. We will have our autopsy results. It should be coming back tomorrow, and we'll get a better idea of what kind of time frame we're looking at.
Is there any knowledge that you guys may have of him possibly making his way back to Wisconsin, or he's run?
We're not ruling anything out. So, I mean, we have been in touch with agencies, of course, across the nation, and just tracking down leads. We are aware of other connections he has. We've interviewed friends, co-workers. We're optimistic that we can track down his location.
Sir, he left his truck behind. And did you find in that truck any writing, any note, anything that might have...
Our detectives are still going through that process. I know that we worked with the Washington State Patrol Crime Lab yesterday, in addition to our detectives, process all that information. And today, as I was leaving our emergency operations center, we did have members of the Washington State Patrol that were processing some of the cell phones we located in the vehicle.
What military training does he have that could be a factor in his ability to elude authorities?
We do understand, and we're getting more confirmation that he might have possibly gone through mountain survival school. But we also know, too, that he's been an outdoorsman since he was a kid. Talking with the parents, it seemed like this was something that he was attracted to, like doing in his free time. So clearly some of the knowledge he's probably acquired throughout his lifetime, in addition to the training he might or might not have acquired through the Army, is something we're taking into consideration. But we do want to validate what trainings he's actually gone through, and we do have some U.S. Marshals tracking that down as well.
Sheriff, what is your reaction to the fact that he's been out and about, you said, for as long as 2 months? Does that give you room for pause that he is no stranger to being out and living off the grid for so long?
Well, we're certainly an agency that learns from the past. I mean, we saw this before, I believe, around North Bend. I don't know how many years ago that was, where they had an individual who had been involved in a similar incident and then had dug himself a bunker out there. So we take that in consideration, that he may be aware of our surroundings, has the ability to survive, and that's going to certainly make it more challenging, but we're up for that challenge. I mean, we recognize that 87% of our county is not accessible by road. We've been dealing with that over the last 125-year history of this agency, so we're no stranger to that. We're aware of our terrain, and we'll continue to work with our federal partners and U.S. Forest Service that has stepped alongside of us to assist us in possibly closing down some of the trails in the area in order to ensure, of course, that the environment stays safe for anyone who may come to visit, but that we also have access to go through there and start checking all the trails and locations that we believe he may recreate.
Sheriff, the longer this goes on, what concerns do you have about, you talk about the fight or flight mentality, and when desperation kicks in. Obviously, there's that survival skills element of it, but the longer it goes on, I mean, we've seen where things often go. Do you have concerns for whether it be those who are out looking for him, just kind of where this could all come together, and that mentality someone may have when desperation mode kicks in?
We understand the mentality we're dealing with. We have a well-trained agency. We're a leader when it comes to de-escalation here in Washington State. We were one of the original agencies for that training hub, so we understand that we have the ability to control the pace of situations. We have behavioral health units. We have the ability to communicate with him, and we're going to continue to do that. But our primary goal is to track him down. Of course, we want to make sure that he's safe, but ultimately he will be brought to justice.
You started off this press conference saying you're confident that you'll find his witnesses. What makes you confident given all these challenges?
The amount of partners that have come alongside of us. I mean, again, I've cited the U.S. Marshal Service, the FBI. We've had Homeland Security investigations. We've had Border Patrol's tracking team here. We've got Douglas County, East Wenatchee. The amount of resources that we put on this right away gives me confidence that we are doing everything possible, in addition to working with the behavioral analyst team and also bringing cadaver dogs. We're open to anything and everything, and so far, despite our limited resources, it's part of our mission statement with the resources entrusted to us. I think that a lot of people have come alongside us to help us out. That's why I'm optimistic. So we're not doing it alone.
You said that you've been in contact with his father. What has that interaction been like with his immediate loved ones? What are they telling you about their reaction to this immense tragedy? How are they handling it?
They're frustrated with the situation, clearly, but this is their son. So, of course, that they have concerns about his safety. But overall, they understand that he does have to be brought in and he has to be held accountable for his actions.
One more question, please. One more question.
Sheriff, I just wanted to clarify. I mean, you said that with this survival skills coming to light here, how does that change moving forward as we get further and further into this investigation on your guys' search efforts?
Well, we understand that he can cover a lot of ground. I mean, certainly, based off what I know from him, he's in decent shape. And he has the ability to go out there, which, if anyone's been out in that part of the county, it's thick. So it's going to make it more challenging for us to locate him. And especially if he's knowledgeable and he knows how to conceal himself, that will make a unique challenge for us. But we feel pretty confident in bringing members of Border Patrol in too, with their experience of working in more diverse terrain, especially along our Canadian border. We have people who are experts in that field as well, and also excel and have the military training as well. I mean, we recognize he's not a subject matter expert. I'm not going to glorify him in that sense. I do appreciate his service, but overall, we have other men and women who are assisting us who are also military veterans and have that kind of background and experience. And I would certainly point out our Forest Service deputy that was able to immediately locate it as soon as we got information about a general area where he's at. We're up for that challenge. So, thank you.
Okay, for our media partners, I do have a contact sheet that I'd like to have completed. That way we can easily follow up with each of our media partners. So at the conclusion of this, you can find me if you haven't already signed it. That would be greatly appreciated. Thank you for your time, and we'll plan additional updates in hours and days to come. Thank you.
Nothing set, though, at this point, as far as updates?
Not to my knowledge.
So it looks like before she starts talking, like she's about to give a speech. It looks like that sighting in Idaho was incredible.
I mean, we've been talking about this since we first learned and started digging deeper into who Travis Decker really is. I mean, he's a 32-year-old father who has now committed, according to police, this terrible tragedy. I mean, when looking into his background, I learned that he was actually a sergeant with the Washington National Guard, something we first told you about. His training, his extensive military training is something that they've been focused on now, as you're hearing today. Well, he could potentially survive out in the wilderness for 2.5 months, because this is something that he has been doing ever since he was a child, according to the sheriff who spoke with his dad. He's enjoyed these activities, so he knows exactly what he's doing. That makes this situation even much more complex. I mean, we're hearing about how diverse the terrain here in Chelan County really is. I mean, I went up to Icicle Creek yesterday, and I can tell you it was a 30-minute drive just to get up to the campgrounds, which were closed. There was still a lot of people recreating out there, which, as you guys heard, is a threat to the community, which is why today I believe we saw that those barricades have gone further and further out into the community, because that is the whole situation here that officials want to make sure that the community is safe. They are expanding, as you heard, this ongoing search. It's all hands on deck at this point. We're talking FBI, U.S. Marshals, Chelan County, the Wenatchee Police Department. Everyone is coming together. Earlier, if you guys have been tuning into social media, there's been a lot of comments regarding what the community is doing. I can tell you that being here today, it is a really somber feeling. We're here on the steps of the courthouse listening to the sheriff, but right across is that memorial for the vigil that was held yesterday. There's bouquets, flowers, candles, teddy bears that I can see from just standing here, and it is truly devastating for this entire community. And what has this community done? Not only raised hundreds of thousands of dollars for the family to lay these little girls to rest, but they're also pouring out their hearts and trying to support officials here. We're talking about offering them horseback rides and other vehicles to try and get into the backcountry, but at this point they want to limit that search to the official capabilities. I mean, when you're talking 2 months out being in this terrain, as you guys heard Sheriff Morrison say, that Decker might potentially have a huge head start, if we want to put it that way. We're talking about this man being out there since Friday. Those 3 little girls were found Monday. So we're talking quite some time. And as you guys mentioned, as you guys heard the sheriff mention, he's been in communication with his father. I was also able to hear that his brother has been estranged for some time. He is back from Pewaukee, Wisconsin. So there is a lot to unpack, a lot to unfold here, a lot that we're still continuing to learn. And we know that you guys are anxiously trying to share as much as you guys possibly can on social media to try and spread the word out. But again, make sure that you're only reporting first-person sightings. That is a big takeaway here today. So I'm going to send it back to you guys in the studio as we continue to learn more about this ongoing case, and of course bring you the latest tonight at 9 and 10.
Good job, girl. Good job. Good job. Good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Oh my God. You're welcome, baby. Oh God. She heard me. Okay. Let me focus up. So that presser was somewhat informative. It looks like they're taking this even more serious with Wenatchee law enforcement, many different enforcement, U.S. Marshals, many people in different agencies are now coming together. They're working together to try to understand, where is this man? Forget the motive. We can figure that out, you know, later. If we find him right now, we need to locate him. Predict where will he be? Where will he go? This man, that sighting, sadly, in Idaho, wasn't credible. It wasn't, and that's unfortunate because I want this guy to be found. Now, this is now a serious manhunt. This is very, very serious now, because for some reason, authorities, they don't know if he's alive or dead. They don't know. But this man harmed those 3 girls. This man did things that no man normally would. It's terrible just thinking about it. Left handprints, blood on the truck. But he left the truck, chat. What does that tell you? Think for a second. What does that tell you? He left them stranded, deceased, but he left the vehicle. He left the vehicle at that campsite, that campground. Why? Why travel on foot where you can hurry in a car, a 2017 GMC Sierra? You could have just taken that, go to your location, burn the vehicle, continue on foot. He didn't. You see, they found zip ties and bags. This was planned. He had a long time, 27 minutes from his location to that campground. Excuse me, I think 26 minutes 26 minutes to think, should I do this? Am I going to continue to do this? Will I harm my own daughters? Him traveling from that vehicle where he just left parked and on foot was a smart move on his end. But that tells me that makes him just as much as alive. Chad, he could have unalived himself at that location. He could have unalived himself public. He could have unalived himself at his apartment, in his vehicle, at the hotel, motel. He could have done it anywhere else where they could have found him publicly, like those girls, but his body is not found. Which tells me, maybe the rest of the audience here, that he is just more alive than dead. Again, this is premeditated. This was planned. Put yourself in a position of a person who's not okay mentally. The Idaho location is not credible. False flag. So I tell you, I say it every single time. I tell eyes on that, eyes please. Co, you know, if you know who I'm talking about. I don't have no time. Just ban automatically at this point. Just please, I'm going to tell you guys, be very careful where you get your information from, especially different people, other tubers, podcasters, people on TikTok, Twitter. They are saying that this is a sighting of him. It blows my mind. People cannot read. It literally is captured in the days leading up to his visitation with the girls. It is not the spot that, it is not him there. Like, this is him today or something. Please be careful. I'm trying to give you the correct information as best as I can. Okay? Now, let's go back to the new details.
Washington State this morning, a man.
I got a whole plethora of videos of photos. I showed you the Ring camera. I'm going to rewind that back, and I got more new information. And I'm going to take you to the campground site. I'm working on it. Just give me a second.
And is wanted for killing his own 3 daughters during a court-approved visitation.
It's a case that's raising questions about the effectiveness of the country's Amber Alert system. ABC's Rhiannon Alley has more for us.
A small town in Washington State holding a vigil last night for 3 young sisters found murdered in the woods.
Going on 20 years, I don't think I've had a situation that has really almost prompted tears to come up. We feel for the family.
9-year-old Paityn, 8-year-old Evelyn, and 5-year-old Olivia Decker were found dead near a campground in the small town of Leavenworth. Authorities say it appears they'd been suffocated. Police searching overnight for their father, 32-year-old Travis Decker, accusing him of killing the girls during a court-approved visit.
Having my own daughter, and that's shocking. I don't know what this mother is going through. It's probably that's the hell on earth.
When the girls did not return home Friday, their mother reported them missing, but authorities say the case did not meet the criteria for an Amber Alert. Those criteria include reasonable belief by law enforcement that an abduction has occurred, and a law enforcement belief that the child is in imminent danger of serious bodily injury or death.
Just because a parent with custodial privileges is late bringing a child back does not mean there's been an abduction. And so there was not specific evidence of an abduction.
Instead, authorities issued what's called an EMPA, an Endangered Missing Person Alert, a less urgent notice that does not trigger phone alerts. As for Decker, police say he'd been living out of his truck and had a history of mental health issues.
Court records show he was diagnosed with borderline personality disorder and was supposed to get treatment, but had not. Rhiannon Alley, ABC News, New York.
He didn't get treatment. He did not. No, he didn't. Because for some reason, as a man, it is your responsibility to treat yourself. And not just a man, excuse me, anybody. Take care of yourself, because you're going to put other people in harm's way, like those 3 little ones, like your daughters, the daughters that you unalived. now that we know this new information about the spotting, his intent, and now they're wrapping up this manhunt, and now they're taking this even more seriously, mark my words, I'm telling you, I'm going to call it like I said yesterday. They're going to bump up the reward so high, they're going to get people involved. Mark my words, I promise you. Because it's not, for me, fuck the money. It's these little girls. People are vindictive. If not, they are vengeful. Because if this was my family member, I would be. Scout's honor, I'm not ashamed of it. I would be. 100%. Okay. Oh, dude, I messed up my back. I gotta get into a lot of details with you guys. I actually have the location. Let's wrap up this video real quick, and I'm gonna take you there.
Together to bring the suspect to justice, including the Spokane County Sheriff's Office. Grab 2's Christian Garza has been looking into what both local and statewide agencies are doing to bring Decker into custody. Christian?
Well, earlier today, the U.S. Marshal's Office, which is spearheading the manhunt, issued an arrest warrant for Wenatchee father Travis Decker. According to the U.S. Marshals Service website, it's not known at this time if Decker is armed, but he should still be considered dangerous. U.S. Marshals are also offering a reward of up to $20,000 for information that leads directly to Decker's arrest. Close to 8 agencies are working together to search for Decker at this very moment, while also getting help from other agencies like Spokane County Sheriff's Office. Spokane County sent 2 helicopters from Spokane Valley with thermal imaging cameras to help search the area where the bodies of the 3 girls were found for as long as this manhunt takes.
Yeah, this is probably one of the most heinous crimes you'll ever see, right? This is the murder of 3 young female daughters. And this is one that, you know, we want to be able to do everything we can to assist, try and bring some closure to that family and bring justice as well.
According to court documents from Wenatchee PD, Decker's cell phone records show that he traveled to the area where the bodies were found the night before he picked his daughters up on May 30th. Preliminary examinations say all 3 girls died from asphyxiation. For anyone who might know anything about Travis Decker's whereabouts, you're asked to call the tip line that's been on the bottom of your screen this whole time. It's 1-800-336-0102. We also have it listed up on our website. In the newsroom, Christian Garza, KREM 2 News.
Asphyxiation. This man, you know what this almost sounds like to me? I don't know how this man is able to literally wrap his hands and do such a This crime is ridiculous to do this, right? This is a passionate crime, not passionate as in a good feeling, but this was so personal to him. He can do this to his own daughters that something in his mind told him that, hey, this is okay to do. I'm going to successfully do this, but for what? Did this give any pleasure to you? Or maybe, just maybe, you did this to hurt those girls' mother. Think about this for a second. Travis, what other reason is it? You didn't hurt the mother. You didn't directly hurt the mother, because if you really think about it, if you would have done this to the mother, the kids would have suffered. The kids would have been alive. What impact you would have gave anyone that in which you cared for? You took the lives of your daughter as a performance stunt to harm who? Why? What I'm telling you is, why target the daughters? That's like me looking for a cockroach and killing it or something, or grasshopper. But what was the point? Because it may be icky to me. I don't like it. But that's not harming anyone else but that roach or that grasshopper. So if you harm the kids, what is the reason for that? If you only knew it was going to hurt someone else other than the kids, which is the mother. You get what I'm saying? Taking the lives of the kids is going to only hurt someone else. yourself or the mother. But if I kill something else, it's not that something else is going to harm nobody else. Only someone related to either that bug or the person or whoever. It's an analogy that I'm offering. Probably was a bad one. But my point stands correct. Is you took the lives of human beings that are related to you, but you also shared and accompanied them with someone else. And the only person is the mother. The mother. Because if you really think about it, for a man to bring zip ties, bags, leave the vehicle, he planned this. I know for a fact, for just 1 second of your life, that thought came around your head, Travis. And I hope you somehow watch me because I want you to look me in my eyes like a man. I know in the back of your mind, you knew what will happen if I do it to these girls. And the first thing that came to your mind is their mother. I believe her name is Whitney. Don't quote me on that. I can't state that for a fact, but I think it's Whitney. Not too sure. I know that thought came in your mind, Travis, for a fact. You know for a fact that thought came in your mind is, what happens if I take these lives? Oh shit, I'm going to hurt their mother. And by you thinking that, and by you doing that to these little girls, it showed me that you didn't care. And there you go. You didn't care. Because if you cared from hurting the mother, you would have never took let alone, you should have never took those lives, girls at all. You should have never took the lives of those girls at all. That's a double whammy, brother. You took their lives and you hurt that mother. But you knew that and you didn't care. You're pure evil. You're the definition of pure evil. And looking at you, look at this. You're not even a man. I mean, Jesus, looking at you. You're frail. You're frail. You're frail. You're frail in every single way. You're frail. And I come from my whole background of family is military. From my mom's side and my dad's side. And you put to shame of that name. I don't even know how you survived. Let alone, I'm afraid you're displayed in action on the force. But let me tell you, you're not a representation of them at all. Not at all. Shit, not even for this country. Your ass should be shipped to the Bay. Trust me. This is why I'm begging the gods above that you're alive. I hope you're alive. But on the other hand, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something right now. What the hell? I don't know what the hell's that. On the other hand, let me tell you something, Travis. I have been doing cases for years. And you know you display a very similar action as someone. You know you remind me of? Let me show you who you remind me of. My first crazy case. My most viral case. You guys are going to say Chris Watts. I understand that. Chris Watts, absolutely. But you know what he reminds me of? And you know why he could possibly be, he's no longer with us? He's possibly not alive, chat. He probably pulled off a Brian Laundrie. You traveled all the way somewhere far to think that you can escape, to go to sleep. But you go right into that forest. You're going to go right into a remote place and end it all. Because let me tell you something. A man that can take a life of those 3 little girls would never, and he knows this, he will never survive in jail. A journal, a book bag, a weapon in a remote area, underneath the water, decay found. Brian Laundrie. He could not live knowing that the whole world heard about Gabby Petito. You don't think for 1 second that Travis Decker doesn't know the whole world knows about him? You think this case is just domestic? You think it's just a national case? This case is international. Got people from Australia, United Kingdom, South America, even Africa in my DMs talking about this case. Hey, Nove, look what happened. Did you find out about this? Oh, much love from the UK, much love from Australia. They all know about you. Everybody knows about you. All that pressure Travis is building up, and you're not going to survive this, bro. And I know that you and I both know you're not going to survive in jail. So what the options is it? You cannot face the torment of people in jail or the general public, let alone your own mind. You're not going to make it.
We begin with breaking news tonight at 6. We're tracking reports of a Washington man on the run accused of murdering his 3 daughters.
The McCall Police Department says it received notifications of a possible sighting of Travis Decker. Abby Wilt joins us from the newsroom with the latest. Abby?
Morgan Hunter, McCall Police says it's investigating reports of these possible sightings. Again, these are possible sightings, but McCall PD says they are getting reports of Decker at 2:30 today at the Ridley's grocery store. Travis Decker is the father wanted in connection to the killings of his 3 daughters in Wenatchee. The 3 girls, Paityn, Evelyn, and Olivia Decker, were reported missing last weekend after their father, Travis Decker, did not return them from a planned visitation. The girls were found dead in Leavenworth, which is about 30 minutes from Wenatchee. They were at a campground on Monday. The cause of the death is asphyxiation. Decker's white 2017 GMC truck was also found unoccupied at the campground with.
Wait a minute.
Decker's white 2017.
Well, look at that. Is that them taking the GMC away from that area?
GMC truck was also found unoccupied.
I can't confirm that, but this is Washington.
Occupied at the campground with the girls, but Decker was not there. You're seeing a picture now of Decker. He has dark brown hair, a small beard, and his arms have tattoos. Decker is 5'8" and about 190 pounds. Decker is now wanted for 3 counts of first-degree murder and first-degree kidnapping. Authorities do not know if he is armed, but they are saying he may pose a significant risk if approached. Again, that possible sighting of him in McCall was today around 2:30. McCall police say if you believe you've seen Decker, contact dispatch at 208-382-5160. Now, we have called Idaho State Police and Ada, Boise Valley, New Meadows, and Gem County. They all say they do not have major concerns yet that he is.
I'm going to pause this for a second. I don't mean to cut this off so many times. I do apologize. I want you guys to take just 30 seconds real quick. I'm asking for 30 seconds, right? I want you to study his face real quick. And I hope everyone, by the way, is sharing this. Every single podcast I'm doing on this case will be important. I am doing extensive research. I even have the location. You think I'm fucking around? That's next. Look. This is Rock Island Campground. This idiot decided to take them very remote. Somewhere remote. This is not the exact location. It's literally around. I have done my research. I have looked through all the videos that they pinpointed, and I also heard the time. And that video where they show the location, I'm trying to pinpoint the exact location. I'm trying my best because I want to take you there. I want to be there. I want to be in his, not in his shoes, but to be in that, I'm just trying to understand this. So I'm using every video to try to comb through and find this location. Just to get a better understanding. But I need you to study his face. See that little beauty mark up top? Well, ew, let's not call it beauty mark. Let's call it mole in this case. On his nose, on top of the right nostril. He has gauges. 5'8". Beard, gray, black, white skin color. Hair straight, brownish. You're looking at a guy who wanted to hurt the mother of those 3 daughters, ladies and gentlemen. Fucked up teeth. Look at the forehead, all big and shit. He likes wearing hoops as well. Slightly bushy eyebrows, squinty eyes, a beauty mark on the right side of that face right there. His beard don't connect. Keep that in mind. Keep all this in mind, chat. Study this. I want this embedded in your mind. And I'm just hoping you're sharing this. Tag somebody on who lives in Washington or even Cali, bordering states, guys. Come on. Idaho, Oregon, even Seattle, Vancouver, you name it, please. All right.
Major concerns yet that he is.
Moving on to the following video, and then we'll get to the map. I know I took that away from you too early. But there have been growing concerns on this case. I didn't even tell you guys about that. Because of what's happening with everybody else, the inmates, Grant, Antoine Ever, and everybody else. By the way, there's over 10 escapees. 6 escapees. No, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, almost 10 escapees. 10 escapees. Oh, another person escaped just 3 days ago. I forgot to tell you guys about that. Wow, I didn't even say that. In the United States of America, you could just walk your ass out of jail. Now, this guy, not even in jail. It's a manhunt. It's a manhunt right now. All right. Let's show his body posture, how he walks, and what he looks like. This is cam footage of him. I showed this already. I'm going to do it again. Look like he's reaching down, trying to steal an Amazon package. I'm going to show it again. You know what? Now that I know you have visors, you wouldn't be too difficult to find now. He's all about, you know what? I need you guys to listen to this. He's all about accessories. If he's alive, he's about accessories. I see that. He has a hat here. He likes tangible objects. If it's not a fashionable statement, it's to hide himself. Just keep that in mind. Those visors. He probably cut the hair off. Keep that in mind. I mean, if you really think about it, he could be alive. I mean, chat, he was living in his truck in motels, going everywhere else. A homeless man, can some say? You think that he has a problem living outside that truck, leaving his truck? You think he has a problem living outdoors? Not from a military man. Ladies and gentlemen, he may well be very alive. Back to these 3 angels. Before I start, ladies and gentlemen, please do me a favor. Hit the like button. Hit subscribe if you are brand new. Welcome to the Investigation. We cover true crime, trending topics, breaking live coverage. You're going to love it here. I promise. Nothing but facts, realness in here, and the most beautifulest chat on YouTube, period.
Are dead, and their father is on the run. Authorities in Washington say the 5, 8, and 9-year-old girls were reported missing last Friday after a scheduled custody visit with their dad. Detectives tracked Travis Decker's vehicle near a campground. That's where they found the girls' bodies. Their cause of death just revealed. Now, a manhunt is underway to find Decker. Police say he's possibly armed and dangerous. I'm your host, Kennedy Walker, and you're watching Law and Crime.
Your memory will never be forgotten, and we will not stop pursuing justice for you until those that were accountable for this are found.
Wenatchee police say the bodies of 9-year-old Paityn, 8-year-old Evelyn, and 5-year-old Olivia Decker were found near a remote campground in Wenatchee, Washington, about 2.5 hours away from Seattle. The sisters vanished on Friday, May 30th. Authorities say it appears they had been suffocated. Their mother called authorities when the girls weren't returned.
Oh, wow. I didn't know they were going to release the mother's image. Oh, snaps. Okay. Well, this is the mom, ladies and gentlemen. This is the mom. Prayers in the chat. Prayers in the chat.
Returned after a scheduled custody visit with their father, Travis Decker. Investigators released images of Decker's white 2017 GMC Sierra pickup and eventually tracked the truck to Rock Island Campground. If you look up the campground online, it says visitors are required to physically arrive at the campground to purchase and claim a site. Officers searched the area and found the girls' bodies, but Decker was gone.
Going on 20 years, I don't think I've had a situation that has really almost prompted tears to come up.
Decker's truck was located in a remote area 17 miles up the road from the campground by a Chelan County Forest Service deputy who was patrolling the area on a motorcycle. A manhunt is now underway.
And we will not rest until Travis is located.
Oh, wait a minute.
Gone.
Going on 20 years, I don't think I've had a situation that has really almost prompted tears to come up.
Decker's truck was located in a remote area 17 miles up the road from the campground by a Chelan County Forest Service deputy who was patrolling the area on a motorcycle.
What? Wait a minute. So they was discovered by accident. What?
By a Chelan County Forest Service deputy who was patrolling the area on a motorcycle.
On the motorcycle would mean trail, but there was a trail.
Decker's truck was located in a remote area 17 miles up the road from the campground by a
17 miles up the road, but then the location that I had. This is gonna be. I'm trying to find the location. I'm gonna find it for you guys. I promise you.
Chelan County Forest Service
17
deputy
miles.
who was patrolling the area on a motorcycle. A manhunt is now underway.
And we will not rest until Travis is located.
He did not want them to be found. 17 miles from the campground? That's why it was on that Monday. 17 miles from the campground, not the entry, not the exit, from the site. And it was stumbled upon accident. Okay, well, no, okay.
Travis, if you're listening, this is your opportunity to turn yourself in. Do the right thing, do what you need to do, and take accountability for your actions. We're not going to go away, we're not going to rest, and we're going to make sure we find you. You will be brought to justice. Those young ladies deserve it.
Police are asking those who see him or know about his whereabouts since Friday to call 911 immediately. Police described Decker as 5'8" and 190 pounds with black hair and brown eyes. A warrant has been issued for his arrest, charging the former military member with 3 counts of kidnapping and first-degree murder. The girl's mother, Whitney Decker, told KIRO News her ex-husband had struggled with mental health since leaving the military, but she never believed he was dangerous. Whitney reportedly told police her ex-husband picked up the girls around 5 p.m. last Friday, but when he didn't bring them back by 8, she got worried. She said she tried calling, but his phone went straight to voicemail. She also told investigators Decker was homeless and often stayed at local campgrounds. Wenatchee police said Decker was believed to be living out of his truck. Numerous law enforcement agencies are searching for Decker, including the FBI, Chelan County Sheriff's Office, Emergency Management, and Homeland Security. A GoFundMe has been launched to support Whitney Decker, a mother who, in just one night, lost all 3 of her daughters. And joining me to talk more about this is criminal defense attorney and former assistant district attorney Anthony Osso. Anthony, thank you so much for coming on today.
Thanks for having me.
So this case is horrifying. From a legal standpoint, how do courts typically treat cases involving children this young?
They're going to treat them very delicately. There's going to be a lot of attention paid to a case like this, obviously because it's tragic is not even the proper word. It's way worse than that. And so I think it's going to have a lot of attention from the court, their first degree cases. And so the offense is very serious.
And the fact that these were his own kids, does that make the charges more severe? Would it be normal for prosecutors to seek the death penalty in a case like this?
It depends on the law in the state. So depending on what jurisdiction it is, I think in your more conservative states where the death penalty is commonly used, this is the type of case where you could see the death penalty. Again, I don't think authorities have Decker yet, and I'll be interested to see the mental health situation that the defense will likely delve into before a prosecuting office makes that decision.
Yeah, right now, like you said, there is a manhunt underway. He could be caught at any moment now. How does that impact just the timeline of the case legally?
Well, I don't think that the proceedings are going to be able to move forward without a defendant or party to the case. And so it's going to stall any court dates and any court proceedings.
What happens the moment that he is caught, though? Is he arraigned immediately, or do investigators get more time to question him?
So he will likely be, now that there's probable cause for his arrest, I imagine that investigators would read him or his Miranda rights, and then he could either waive those or he could choose to exercise his right to an attorney. But upon his arrest, he's got to be before arraigned or before a magistrate in a very short period of time, approximately 48 hours.
Does the fact that he is on the run, would prosecutors consider that consciousness of guilt?
Absolutely. But I still think, in my opinion, I think that the charges are slightly premature just based on what I've read. I think that treating him as a person of interest or a suspect at this point is appropriate, but to have already filed the charges this early on, I think is jumping the gun. But I do think if the evidence is there, that yes, him fleeing is certainly evidence of consciousness of guilt.
Well, in your experience, why do prosecutors do that? Because he wasn't just charged with murder, he was also charged with kidnapping as well, which I thought was kind of interesting, because why charge him with kidnapping if obviously the murder charge would trump that?
Right. I strategically, I don't understand it here, except for that it would trigger a warrant, but they already had warrants for his arrest on the kidnapping charges, because I think that had something to do with him not answering the phone or violating whatever the terms were of his visitation with the children. I imagine that at this point there are still a lot of unknowns. I know that the cause of death was asphyxiation in this case, but as far as him, aside from him being the last person that was there, or that they were seen with, I don't really see the strategy in filing the murder charges this early on.
Well, do you think because they were found near, the three little girls were found near his truck, I know they put out, signs asking everyone to check around. They got his license plate, found the bodies near his truck. And then they are, young, I think 9, 8, and 5 years old. So they can't really get around themselves. I'm thinking maybe that's why.
Sure. And I get that point. I think that there's nothing preventing investigators from identifying him as a suspect, apprehending him, or even getting a warrant to get some sort of DNA specimen from him to make comparisons to what they find on scene. I just think that there are a lot of things that they could do in an effort prior to filing charges. Again, I do think that with those first degree charges, he's going to be subject to a really high bond, which will help them keep him in custody if he's apprehended.
Right. I'm wondering, do you think that they may even deny the bond? I mean, 3 children dead now.
Yeah, it's possible. It just depends on the laws in the state of Washington and whether the law permits them to deny bond in those cases. Sure, constitutionally, everybody has a right to a bond, except for a very specific subset of charges. And so it just depends on state law.
Could leaving the state or hiding in remote areas bring federal charges into this at some point?
I don't think so. I think that this is going to be a state court prosecution. I think that the punishment ranges involved here, it's just the type of case that, in my opinion, will remain within the state. I don't think that they were transported across state lines or anything like that. And so I don't think this triggers any federal charges.
If he, let's say, because he is on the run right now, this happened in Washington, if he's found in California or just somewhere else, could that make the federal charges come, or is it that would only happen if he brought the kids to another state?
I think if he brought the kids to another state, and I don't think that the charge that could be filed federally carries as significant as a punishment range of that of murder in state court, right? So from the federal prosecutor's perspective, they're going to see it as, well, let's let the state court prosecutors handle it. They've got larger teeth sunk in here with a first degree punishment range. And I think that's the appropriate way to handle the case.
Let's move on to evidence. Obviously, we're getting more details.
This part is very important, and I want everybody to listen to this evidence because somebody said a comment and saying that, like, what if it's not him, or do they have enough? Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. They have enough to think that it was him. I explained it in a podcast before this one. Go watch it. I said a little bit of it today. It sounds premeditated. Stuff around their neck, let me just say that. Handprints on the vehicle, you know what it was. Yeah. Who was the last one with them? And he's not on the scene. Jesus. The evidence is stacked against this man. A lot. Guys, hit that like button, hit subscribe if you're new. Welcome to University. Again, guys, just engage with this video as much as you can, please. I want to push this information out there. Facebook, do your thing. YouTube, you know what to do, YouTube.
Every moment now, but from an evidence perspective, how crucial is it that they found the girl's body near Mr. Decker's vehicle?
Very crucial. I think if you are putting together a timeline as a prosecutor, he's the last person that's documented having been with them. They're found near the truck. I think his cell phone is found near that campsite or where that truck was, and then leaving that area. So it puts him, it's evidence that puts him on that scene where the girls were found. It's a crucial piece of evidence in this case.
If there's no confession or eyewitnesses, can circumstantial evidence alone still lead to a life sentence? Because the way I see it, 3 little girls, ages 9, 8, and 5, were on a visit with their dad. The dad disappears, yet the girls are found dead near the dad's truck. Even if, let's say, hypothetically, he says he didn't do it, I just don't know how you argue that. So can circumstantial evidence lead to him still going to jail for life, potentially?
Absolutely, Kennedy. When I was a prosecutor, I oftentimes thought that circumstantial evidence is better than witness testimony, because circumstantial evidence doesn't lie. And you put together things like DNA. And I imagine that when they conduct the autopsies in this case, they will swab the areas on the bodies of these children that were possibly where they were strangled and make DNA comparisons. That's the kind of circumstantial evidence. Well, I'd argue that's direct evidence, but that's the kind of direct evidence that they will couple with circumstantial evidence to try and make a case against Mr. Decker here.
If this goes to trial, what kind of defense strategy could his lawyers even try here?
Based on what I've seen so far, I think that they can make an argument as to the identity of the defendant, that Mr. Decker didn't commit the crime. I think that they could, and I think based on what I'm seeing about his potential bipolar disorder and possible lack of medication at the time, I think they might have an insanity defense that they could explore. I think the two are exclusive of each other. So you've got to kind of pick one or the other there.
Yeah, mental health has come up. Could that be used as part of an insanity defense? And how often do those actually work? Because I feel like we hear about those a lot. So many people claiming insanity. But if you could just walk us through the process and tell us if that actually works in a lot of these cases.
There has been success in these cases. But I can't give you a percentage of whether it's 25, 75% of the time. I mean, it's a case-by-case basis. And if the evidence supports a theory of insanity that the defendant didn't recognize the consequences of their actions at the time, then there's an argument to be made. I think what's important here, and to your earlier point, Kennedy, is that Mr. Decker fled from the scene. And if that can be established, that indicates a consciousness of guilt and a recognition of the consequences of what he did.
Right, because I'm reporting on a similar case out in Florida, and I was talking to an attorney just trying to figure out if the mom could use an insanity defense because she's accused of killing her son, but she stayed. And his body was there for a couple of weeks and she stayed and she never fled. And so it's just, that consciousness of guilt is a little different here in this case, like how you mentioned, because he did leave the scene. But Mr. Decker also has a documented history of PTSD from military service, we're told. Could that change the outcome or the sentence as well, since he was, a part of our military?
Certainly. I think that PTSD is something that's a lot more widely recognized currently, and it does go towards punishment. So even if the defense can't establish an insanity at the guilt innocence phase, it's certainly relevant to mitigating punishment in the punishment phase, to say that he was struggling with these things and they were a cause of his actions in this case, and for that reason he should be prosecuted less severely than somebody who's thinking clearly and doesn't have mental health issues.
Right. And the mother, the girl's mother, she spoke with one of the local stations out in Washington saying that her ex-husband struggled with mental health ever since he came back from the military. So, we're just trying to figure out if that could be used, some type of, if he does have a documented history of PTSD. I'm sure that will come out later. But we know that this all happened during a custody visit. Could the family court system come under scrutiny if he had prior red flags?
It's possible. I haven't seen those files, but assuming that they knew that there was mental health and that he was homeless and didn't have a secure place where he was supposed to keep the children, I think that raises a lot of red flags.
Speaking of that, with that coming out that he was homeless, how exactly does he get to have a custody visit knowing that he doesn't have a home to even bring the girls to?
I can't quite answer that. I think that there must have been a specially crafted visitation order. I do think there are people that live on the road and travel and live out of an RV, but my understanding is he was living motel to motel, campsite to campsite, which is a little different. And so I think it's odd.
Right. And we don't know if he became homeless before, if he was homeless the entire time during this agreement, or if this recently happened. Again, I'm sure we'll get more details soon. But if I'm just trying to figure out, could the girl's mother potentially even sue the state or any agency involved?
That's what I was thinking. How could you sign off on a man who already has mental problems, has nothing to his name? Was there work involved? A place to stay? A man who has problems and instability, but yet you sign off on it. Don't blame the mom. She's just a mom. She don't want to take the kids away from her dad. He wanted more. He did. You signed off. Get out of my face with that.
In approving the custody visit now that this has happened?
So there's a lot of red tape in suing the state and the court. So I think that that's probably unlikely. It's also hard to suggest that he would commit such a heinous crime, right? I think in hindsight, it's easy to say, oh, well, this guy was clearly on the verge of committing a crime, but causing the death of his 3 daughters isn't probably something that a court would find that judge or the state was able to foresee. And so I don't think that there will be a lawsuit against that judge based on just the difficulty in predicting this.
If this case does go to trial and it's highly public, how do they ensure, an impartial jury?
Well, that's part of what the voir dire portion of trial is, and through jury selection, the court will ask, and oftentimes the lawyers will be able to question the potential jurors about their knowledge of the facts in this case, and if they are aware of the facts of the case, or they are aware or do know the parties involved, will that cause them to be biased or sway their judgment in the case? And so there's a screening process that takes place beforehand.
Could he plead guilty and avoid a trial altogether, or would prosecutors still want this to go to court to show justice for the family?
He could absolutely plead guilty, Kennedy, and most of the time that's what we see. Most cases are worked out through plea negotiations, and we're just reading news stories at this point. But until he's apprehended and all the evidence is put together, it's hard to tell whether there's holes in the state's theory, whether there's risk involved for prosecutors to go to trial. And so oftentimes a plea is a way for prosecutors to secure a conviction and avoid the appeal process and bring finality in the case for the family.
And speaking of the family, I mean, that poor mother overnight just losing her 3 children. Where does healing begin for her? Does the court offer any type of mental health services?
Yes, they do. But that's going to be a long road, and it's a road that I've never been down, and I don't think most people have. So it's going to be extreme grief and shock, I think, for a long time for her. They will have oftentimes through the district attorney's office victim assistance coordinators or social workers that meet with the victims, offer counseling services to the victims, and then keep the victim informed throughout the proceedings in court.
And before I let you go, if you could just walk us through a timeline here, if that Mr. Decker is caught, how long, if this does go to trial, how long could this whole process take? Are we talking about weeks, months, years?
Years, in my opinion. I think with 3 dead bodies, them being children, and the familial nature of this case, it's going to be deemed extremely complex. I don't see this case going to trial within a year. And there's a lot of evidence that the state still likely needs to collect that they can do so after Mr. Decker is apprehended. For example, collecting a biological specimen from him to compare to the other evidence that they've already collected on the scene, as well as to the autopsies of the 3 children. So it's going to take a long time.
If he was a member of our military, though, do you think his DNA is already in the system?
It's possible, and that could be used for, like oftentimes when people are already inmates in the system, they'll be matched through CODIS, but it's still a requirement that they get an initial or a supplemental specimen. So it just depends on the policy of the crime laboratory in Washington and the quality of the specimen that the military may or may not have.
Gotcha. Well, this is a story that we will be following closely. Anthony, thank you so much for coming on today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
The 3 sisters attended school in the Wenatchee School District. In a letter to families, the Wenatchee School District superintendent wrote, quote, "Our thoughts are with the family, the entire Lincoln Elementary community, and everyone touched by this situation." The district says...
So let me sum up this beautiful segment on this case. Basically, this man, Travis, has everything going wrong from him. It's completely against him. In this case, that he end up not being there. It is exactly what I said before this video. You see, even if pleaded, if he found guilty, not guilty, whatever the case may be, he left the scene. It doesn't look good for him in his case. It doesn't. Plead insanity all you want. You fled the scene. Days have passed. Girls were found by that vehicle. DNA collected. They do have his DNA. I mean, come on, stop it. They have that man's DNA. They're going to get his DNA even if he's found, regardless. This doesn't look good for him. And that's hoorays for us. Sadly, it will never bring these girls back. And now this idiot has created the spiral situation for this mom because he developed a terrible mental state for this mom. This mom must be going through something. God bless her soul. He has mental illness. Now he wants to what? Damage her mental status? Okay. Let's move on to the next video. Guys, please hit that like button. I would appreciate it. Hit subscribe if you're brand new. Hit that subscribe button, guys. It's all coolio over here. All right, cool. Where is that? That's right, Janine. Go ahead. Go ahead. You better tell him. You better tell him. All right, chat. Let's move on to this next video. Oh, chat. It turns out that video that we watched, that was his truck. Remember the little vehicle at the bottom that I saw? That was his truck. It was. It was his truck. Oh, shit. That's crazy. It was his truck. All right. Sorry. I had to look at maps real quick. I really want to find that location for you guys. Have I thought about it? I mean, guys, me going to Washington, I really want that. I do. I do. I do want that. I do. I want to go. Be a bitch to go, but it takes a lot for me to go. There we go. Oh, Cole, by the way, thank you for the $1.99, Cole. I appreciate that so much. Thank you so much.
Reported missing last weekend after their father, Travis Decker, did not return them from a planned visitation. The girls were found dead in Leavenworth, which is about 30 minutes from Wenatchee. They were at a campground on Monday. The cause of the death is asphyxiation. Decker's white 2017 GMC truck was also...
There it is right there. This is what I want to show you. That there was an article that said it was... Do I know where? Yeah, it's right around here. Like, it's 17 miles north up from the campsite. And this is where it led me. But the path, what's strange is that the path, like, if I go to the off of it, it didn't let me. So what I'm saying to you is it's right near a path. It's right near a path. Because that vehicle was discovered there. Right? This is where it took me. 17 miles. I've searched all day, chat, and I'm gonna have to go more, probably more, maybe east. Yeah. See, because I'm by Black Pine Horse Camp. I don't want to. How far would he have traveled? If they haven't even. Guys, don't get confused with Rock Island Campground in Tennessee, please. Don't ever get confused. That is two different places. Do not get confused. Do not get confused. Okay. Let me get to the path. Dude. Hold on. I'm sorry, chat. I'm trying to get the location for you. Just give me a second, please. You see, there's nothing there. Yeah, I would have to be there. Fuck, man, I wish I just teleported. You know, like just want to teleport there.
We turn.
Honestly.
Found unoccupied.
Sorry, Chad. Let's get back on track. Thank you for everybody who like and subscribe. Thank you. Thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. Thank you guys. You guys are killing it in the chat. Thank you. Thank you.
Now to the other developing story tonight, the urgent manhunt widening at this hour for a father accused in the horrific murders of his 3 young daughters. Authorities say he once served in the military, that he's trained. They believe he's dangerous. He was allowed visitation with his daughters, but not overnights. And now a horrific tragedy for that family. Here's Kana Whitworth.
Tonight, federal, state, and local authorities in Washington searching the wilderness for Travis Decker, who they say killed his 3 young daughters during a court-approved visitation. Decker, according to authorities, is former military with extensive training.
We will not rest until Travis is located.
On Friday, their mother, Whitney, reported 5-year-old Olivia, 8-year-old Evelyn, and 9-year-old Paityn missing after they didn't return from a planned visitation with Decker, who, according to court documents obtained by ABC News affiliate Como, was not authorized to have overnight visits with the girls and was experiencing mental health issues. But
Whitney, I did get her name correct. Whitney reported that Decker picked up their daughters from her residence around the scheduled time at 17 hours, but did not return them. She stated she attempted to call Decker multiple times and went straight to voicemail, where typical means that the cell phone is often out of service. Whitney expressed concerns that Decker reportedly never done this before, and further noted that he has experienced. At the time, Whitney explained that Decker does not currently have a stable residence and is considered homeless. He is known to often stay at hotels, motels, or he camps at local campgrounds. Huh.
Obtained by ABC News affiliate.
She advised Patrol that her ex-husband, Travis C. Decker, has failed to return their 3 children. Noted that appeared distraught and looked like she had recently been crying. She advised that her and Decker were previously married but have been divorced for several years and have 3 children together. Along with the divorce, the two have been a parenting plan in place with the most current owner issued a judge September 27, 2024. The current parenting plan limits Decker's visitation to every other week with specific hours on Fridays from Saturdays from 11 to 900 hours, and Sunday. Oh, that's very specific. The order also specifies no overnight visits and visits only.
Affiliate Como was not authorized to have overnight visits with the girls and was experiencing mental health issues. But authorities say there had been no prior issues with visitation.
There were reported concerns of Travis being homeless and financially stressed recently.
But the order was approved by a judge.
Whitney was clear that during the exchanges that had occurred in the past, that Travis was very communicative with her in any deviations from the parenting plan.
On Monday, a deputy found Decker's white GMC Sierra with 2 bloody handprints on the back near a...
Okay, now I'm glad you guys heard that because people didn't believe me when I said that. 2, I'm going to repeat that again. Please, guys, I'm not going to...
Travis was very communicative with her in any deviations from the parenting plan.
On Monday, a deputy found Decker's white GMC Sierra with 2 bloody handprints on the back near a campground in Leavenworth, Washington.
There you go.
The girls' bodies found down an embankment. They appeared to have been asphyxiated.
Wait, what?
Sierra with 2 bloody handprints on the back near a campground in Leavenworth, Washington. The girls' bodies found down an embankment.
An embankment? What? So wait a minute. I didn't get the embankment in that area. Wait a minute. He did it but okay.
They appeared to have been asphyxiated. All 3 girls attended Lincoln Elementary School in Wenatchee. The entire community coming out to pay their respects. Classmates writing messages in colored markers, trying to process the unthinkable.
And David, tonight authorities warn that Decker could be anywhere, and they say he should be considered dangerous. David.
Our thoughts are with that mother, that extended family, and that whole community tonight. Kena Whitworth, thank you.
This is exactly why I share multiple videos with you guys from different outlets. We get different information, different intel. It's very good communication, but also it's good. It's very good information. By an embankment, down by an embankment. Very specific words, guys. Information that we at home are not there at the scene that they get to be at. You need to understand and listen to those key details. Mustard Mama with the 1999 looking fine on the dime, and that rhymes. What is most horrific is that he had to do this. That's what I said yesterday. Yeah. This is exactly what I said yesterday. It's because he had to. And then, it's exactly what I said. And then, Yeah. It's fucked up, man. Yeah. Oh, man. Guys, I want to find this man. Like, yo, I want to find this guy. Like, I never hated someone so bad. It's like damaging me right now. Like, it's so bad. Like, these are not even my kids. And it's like, it's crazy. Like, this is why I can't imagine what this mom is going through. It's crazy to me.
Washington State for a father accused of killing his 3 young daughters. Police say they found the sisters' bodies and Travis Decker's abandoned vehicle Monday near a campground. Investigators say the girls left home on Friday for a scheduled visitation with their father. ABC News' Zorin Shaw is tracking the story for us.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying that. Okay, so think about it for a second. Remote area, 17 miles from the campsite, in an embankment. He didn't put them in the lake, river, water. It just, they were found by the vehicle together. Do you understand that? So he did what he had to do, and he left. The only way that he could leave that 17-mile north from that campsite is if he walked 17 miles. See that? So they got to play by cameras. That's their best way. And tracks. Jeannie, thank you so much for the 10. I appreciate that so much. He was a pure devil. Oh, he has a special place in hell. Absolutely. Special place in hell. Oh, yeah, absolutely. 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 I couldn't have said that any better. I couldn't have said that any better. Jeannie, thank you so much. I appreciate that. And Mustard Mama, thank you, thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate that support, guys. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. This guy is... Yeah. Or he stashed a bike or some sort of car nearby. I mean, I don't know how this man would be capable of having 2 cars if he's not financially stable or homeless. You know? Let's take a look at the map. And you guys tell me, what do you think he is? So, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Keep that in mind. 4 days. Cool? 4 days. Washington is located far west. I'm going to take you there. Where do you believe he's at, chat? I want you guys to comment right now. Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, comment right now. We got Oregon, Nevada, Idaho, Montana. I mean, if you wanted to go to Canada, Vancouver is north. Calgary up the north. Where do you guys think he's at? I want you guys to comment this. I want everybody to get involved. Where do you think this demonic person is at? This evil man, this thief. He is a thief. He took away these kids. He took their life away. This is a thief. Do I have somebody, please? Is somebody? Can I ask somebody a question? Please do not answer this question if you do not know the answer. I want somebody to help with this case. Is anyone from Washington or Vancouver in the chat or is familiar with this border here? If you are familiar, please type yes in the comments. I mean, if you know. If you do not know, don't say yes because I'm going to ask a question. Please, please, please comment correctly. Vancouver, right here. So, not Vancouver, but if you're familiar with the border, is it easy to cross this border like nothing into Vancouver? Yeah, Mustard, yeah. If you can do that, get in contact with me, please. Okay, so what if, like, a random forest spot, like right here, is it easy for me to cross? Do you guys know this or no? Like, I really, really want to know. Like, if I'm here, can I just go, not to sound ignorant, but if I don't know something, I'm going to ask. So it is easy to cross? So wait, why isn't anybody just not crossing? Like, that's crazy. I didn't know it was that easy. I didn't know this. I didn't know it was that easy to do this. It's okay. We're going to be taking phone calls starting tomorrow anyway. It's private property. It's private. It's fucking private country. But would he risk being caught crossing the border like that? He wouldn't risk that. I think he's more smart than that. I think he's more smart than that, chat. You just messaged her. Very good job. All right, guys. Starting officially tomorrow, we will be doing a different form of podcast like I used to do, like Gabby Petito. We are going to be working together, not just me, all of us, to try to pinpoint as best whatever information we can come up with. We're going to try to pinpoint a location, and I'm going to try to work with that. Canada will be watching him. Right, that's what I like to hear. So everyone, please join the Discord. You can look for this right here. Everybody listen up. Everybody and their mama listen up. Please join the Discord. See 3 little angels? That's this case. Look at this. Look at this. People, who did this? Axeron. Look at that. Submitting stuff. I like this. Damn, Axeron. I like this. PNW. Cool. Love it. Who is this? Pineapple. Fearless. Love it. Love it. Dorothy. Just Me Z. Love it. Silent Storm. Look at this. Love this. A lot of information. Lot of information. Love it. Love it. So I want you guys to submit stuff as best as you can. It's only so much that I know that I can do, but having a computer, especially a production, it helps a lot, especially with the resources that I have. But, you know, I wish that I could take a trip. That's what I want to do, chat. Where is this man, everybody? Where is this man? Just knowing that he exists somewhere here, roughly right here. He exists. But where? Fuck the bounty. I don't care about that, man. I care about the cause and the justice. This is what matters the most. You must understand this. It's so vast and so dense. Yep. But we can't give up, right? We can't give up. Okay. Oh, please, guys, when you submit stuff, actually, when I see you submitting stuff, you have to submit it where it's very tiny. You can't really see it. You have to make sure you submit it where it's large. If you that image you're trying to send, look for it again, but when it's large, if you can, because it's very tiny. Like when you try to open it, it's like this tiny. Can't see it. All right, everybody. I'm going to call it for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for watching Novacity. I really appreciate that so much. We went over a lot of information, but I still have more. I do have a few to show you more, but I'm going to still study this case, look for locations, get into his mindset, and I want to find the location before I show you more because I want to be accurate, correct, without misguiding you in any way. So let me do my research. I'm going to continue to do what I'm good at. And hey, hopefully you can do it on your own time and we can share information to try to help this mother, the public, this family, and get justice for these girls. In the name of Paityn, Evelyn, and Olivia Decker. Girls, I don't know you, but I love you. Rest in peace, and I got your back. Especially the people in my chat. They're amazing. God bless you all. I love God, I love you guys. Fuck. I love y'all. I love you. Thank you. Thank you. Before I go, I'm going to say it the last and final time. Hit the like, hit subscribe, comment after this podcast is concluded. So when it finished going live and it's posted as a regular video, comment, give me your ideas. I read it. That pushes the video more, guys. Just say hello, hi, done. Push this shit. Just push it. Even on Facebook. After you're done with YouTube, go to Facebook, share it. Same name, Novacity. I got 100,000 followers on Facebook, 63 on YouTube. I don't know how much on TikTok. I don't know, 20,000. I don't know. And you know what else? Just please, thank you. I want to help as much as I can. All right, cool, awesome. Click it, clack it, facts, love it. I'll see you guys later today, probably for like a standoff or something, or a car chase or something, right? We might have that, possibly, yeah. I found something out earlier, but it concluded on Citizen, so I'll try to find something else. Or who knows, maybe Pineapple or Wilson might send me something else. By the way, shout out to all my people who submit stuff, by the way. Wilson, Pineapple, Fearless, Angie, that's you. PMW is somebody else that submits stuff. You guys are killing it, man. Ocean Kitty, Shelly, thank you. You guys are clicking it, clicking it, baby. You guys are incredible. All right? All right, guys. Thank you so much. Like I always say, do good and die great. And I will see you. Oh, by the way, I posted a video. On my YouTube channel. Please go watch it. I posted it. It's about the DoorDasher who pulled out a weapon on the guy's daughter to try to get a bigger tip. Go watch the video. You guys, did you watch it? Go watch it. It's fucking crazy. It's insane. Please go to my page and go watch it. All right? And I'll see you on the next one.